I'm sorry, Blackbird Farm.
And we stand like Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada.
Hey besties, it's LBtwink and welcome back to my channel. Hi, hello, we are doing a story time. I mean, it's gonna be blatant by the title. This is a story time I promised months ago. More so, I ended up finding a part of my diary where it talked about the time that when I was 17 years old that I worked on a organic farm. That's what we're gonna be talking about in today's video. If you haven't seen my face before, hi, my name is Thomas, aka LBtwink. If you aren't already, go ahead, hit that red subscribe button down below, and also make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Also, in today's story time, I'm not really gonna be smoking because I wanna be coherent, and earlier I smoked weed and I literally cacked at like 4 o'clock. It is now, I kid you not, like 9:02 p.m. I'm drinking a coffee while I'm sitting down to film this video. Yeah, I need to be coherent for this. You are going to either wanna grab a snack or like pack a bowl for today's video. I rarely have any videos where I ever just like don't smoke, so like this is gonna be a video where I just like don't smoke. Let's hop into the story time when I worked on an organic farm. I feel like I have to start off this story by prefacing that when I was in high school, my junior year, when I started, I was in public school. At the end of the first semester, I decided, you know, public school really just was not for me. I purposely failed all my classes so my grandmother could put me into homeschooling. Sorry, grandma. I ended up going to a charter school. Now, the thing with charter schools is that they're government funded. This charter school, they had money. It was the government's money, so they were happy to fucking spend it. This school, it was called OFL, Opportunities for Learning. How my high school experience kind of was after I did go into that program, I would pretty much like do these packets. Each packet equated to like 1 high school credit. I would have to like take a test after like doing the whole packet. That's a little rundown of like how the school works. It's not really like that important. One cool thing about this school is that they would take their students on trips. This school would take you on trips to like Cuba, to Florida, to Washington, DC, to this farm in Mendocino County called Blackbird Farm. The stress. I was almost done with high school. I was 17 years old doing my fucking packets as I do. I ended up never being able to really go on any other trips because I went on this trip. It wasn't like they wouldn't let me, but the timing of everything, I just had finished high school before I even got to do other trips. So what they would do is they would announce a trip and then students would apply. You would have to do an interview. It would be like a big old group interview. When we did the group interview, there was about 15 of us who had applied to go on the trip. I believe they only took about like 7 to 10 kids. Did the interview, got in. It wasn't that deep. I got in on the trip. Blackbird Farm is an organic farm in Mendocino County here in California. What I should specify before is that they told us going into this, our cell phones were going to be confiscated. This was something I fully willingly signed up for. One thing that I did bring, I was really into journaling. I took this journal with me. When I was there, I wrote at least like 2 to 3 pages front and back every single day. Literally every single day. And I was going stir crazy because you know me, I was just addicted to Instagram when I was 17. I think we all were. Another note that I should add, by the time I got on the bus, I ended up developing a cold. I was just like already not feeling good. The bus took us to the airport, still wasn't feeling good. When we got to the airport, I bought Dayquil because I was under 18. I literally couldn't handle my own medicine. I should also mention too, I was the oldest person on this trip. The youngest person was like 14 years old. I'm just gonna start reading from my journal and I'm just gonna like ad lib. This page is called Blackbird Day 1. This is how my inner monologue literally talks. Honestly, 17-year-old Thomas, I was ahead of the fucking time in the way I would talk. My first impression of this whole entire situation is that it is going to be downright messy. Since I have not really met anyone on this trip, it definitely has given me annoyed ass vibes. They took my Dayquil, which I spent the last of my money on, and then when I'm over here high-key pissed, some bitch tells me I'm a quote-unquote drug addict. I have the flu. I bought my own medicine. It's just straight up disrespect. I'm sitting on the plane right now. The benzo I popped is really doing the trick. Honestly, guys, we're just gonna be transparent here. I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. Don't do as I do. I tell you guys my experiences so you don't do them. So I don't want to see no comment. Oh my god, Tom. Just listen. I look over to my left and I just see amazing clouds. Not me up the zone. I remember on my way to this farm, after we got off the airport in Mendocino, we were all put into this van. I got sat in the very back of the van. For whatever fucking reason, there were flies flying around the van. Literally, I have no idea why. I remember sitting in the back just like sweating like unimpressed as fuck. No air is on. Really wish I had like photos to document this. Here I am at Blackbird Farm. This is not the place that you would really want to be. I told them over and over again that I would like to go home. I kid you not, over and over. We showed up to that farm and I said, I want to go home. At this point, I have yet to sleep, eat, or even smoke a cigarette. Oh, how good a cigarette sounds. I talked to this lady about how much I miss Zach. That's cute. Zach is like one of my friends. I broke down crying, talked about an old friend, emphasis on the old. And then I wrote in all caps, Blackbird is gay. Funny how that aged. I kind of feel like I'm being held hostage in a way. I told them that nicotine was a rad way to keep me sane. All I want is a cig. And I literally drew a little cigarette. I do not write like this anymore. I don't really write in general. I swear I used to be a bit of a fucking intellectual. I still am, I just play dumb. I sit alone on this couch with literally no way out. I am in the middle of literally fucking nowhere. If I had the option to redo this, I would seriously not ever fill out an application. Makes me think that money seems to be a major motive because that is ultimately why people try to appeal to the consumers. Like what? No, this could be a mix of basic economy and the will to actually have someone's best interests in hand. But after you meet someone whose job is to be that bitch, then you already know. I'm sorry, but this paragraph just doesn't make sense. Like, what point was I trying to make here? Now I am patiently waiting for Megan to call my grandma and see how this bullshit actually plays out. I'm honestly so upset that I could for sure write a book. This is only day one. I wrote 5 pages. I just had the most bomb dinner and the best salad that I've ever had in my entire life. My mood is going up here. My days are numbered. I do not really plan on staying more than a couple days. I was a very bold thinker. This Chris leader guy is for sure a cutie. He has blonde hair and blue eyes. I mean, I know he isn't into me, but you were 17. Honestly, Chris was never into me, guys. He literally was not at all. This place is seriously a little kid's place. I'm being forced by my will to be here. It is just filled with incompetence. No, I don't want to make your arts and crafts ugly ass construction paper journal about Blackbird Farm. Day 1 is coming to an end. Popping the NyQuil literally was like my best friend, but I still want to leave the farm. Now I must sleep. The weather out here is so shitty. I do remember when I had arrived there that it was super duper rainy. So now we are moving on to day 2. Here I only wrote 2 pages. This morning I woke up disgustingly groggy. They made me trek through the fucking mud to garden to what? Take the temperature of some fucking compost and throw shit at chickens. We were staying in a yurt. If you guys don't know what a yurt is, this is what a yurt looks like. In the morning, because it had been rainy, we had to like move our luggage from one place to another. They literally had us like trekking through the fucking mud with our big ass, heavy ass luggage. They finally gave me Dayquil. The day has been progressively better. In all honesty, I still want to sit. Nicotine addicts be like, I'm sick as balls, man. What does it mean when someone is sick as balls? They tried making me hold chickens. LMFAOOOOOO, you got me so fucked. LOL. I totally just got off the phone with the manager of this goddamn fucking farm. Not me being Karen. I think this place is seriously a joke. So in the middle of writing that, I got pulled aside. I really wish I had a cigarette and was near civilization so I could escape somewhere. When I get home, I'm going to hang out with this boy, and I'm honestly so excited. That boy literally puts everyone else I know to shit. Like, he is absolutely gorgeous. I hate that because like me and this boy like look alike. Okay, anyways, this whole trip is such a flop. OFL is going to be so over me by the time I get back. That's all I guess I wrote for day 2. I don't remember what we ended up doing. I believe at this point I was just like nicotine withdrawing. I had the flu. I just was not having it. Blackbird Farm day 3. And this story is like already juicy as fuck. Before I get into day 3, if you guys haven't noticed, I'm wearing this new top from Twinky Couture. Yes, Twinky Couture is my own brand. I'm a fashion designer. I make and sell clothes on Depop, as well as I take customs. Right now I'm doing commissions for custom jock straps. DM Twinky Couture on Instagram if you're intrigued by that. Just want to do a little hashtag Twinky Couture ad moment. Moving on. Today was actually a pretty good start. Besides having chores, it has been really nice. They literally would wake us up before the fucking sun would come up, and we would have to do chores on this farm. Now I get, honestly, okay, we were the ones going to work on the farm. I shouldn't even be so pressed about it. I'm sitting at breakfast. I miss my friends, but I also find out today if I get to go home. I don't feel as sick anymore, but anyways, let's hope for the best. We just made homemade jam. This place is actually starting to get a little better. I am still quite homesick, and a part of me really wants to go home. I want time to go by quicker, something really fun to happen. This day has gone up and down. I literally was learning about composting today. One of the leaders named Danny really managed to annoy the actual living fuck out of me. I had so much beef with this leader, Danny. As the story progresses, I'm sure I will write about him more. Danny, if you're ever watching this, I'm sorry for being such a bitch. It's the way I'm literally name dropping everyone in this. I get my phone tonight to make some phone calls. I'm going to call my grandma. I'm going on a night hike tonight, which will actually be pretty. What would be more rad was if I was on a plane home. They just let me make a call home. When I called, she just didn't pick up. It really bumps me out when she does this because at the moment, I am literally wanting to cry so hard. They also told me that the manager contacted my principal but has yet to get a response. I don't know why I was being so difficult on on this trip on the low. I feel like they were trying to like finesse time out of me and see if it would grow on me. I remember the leaders were like really bummed out that I didn't like it, but what I think I didn't like was just the fact that I'm a motherfucking city girl. Looking back on this, I should have just enjoyed this. I think there is a happy ending in sight to this story, so like don't think I'm completely a fucking bitch. 17-year-old Thomas, you know, I can own up to that now. I'm sorry, Blackbird Farm. Blackbird day 4. Why do I literally start out me colon ahead of the times? It's still hoping I get sent home today. Yesterday we went on a hike at nighttime. It was nice to get outside. I still feel a bit sick. We also just finished breakfast, which had these weird yet sweetly good muffins. The thought of this boy just kind of sort of popped up in my head. I just found this lame cheesy poem of him that I wrote. Staying sober on this trip really isn't as bad as I thought that it'd be. We all could really use a blunt though. Always been a cannabis connoisseur. I just talked to my grandma. She is on board with me going home, but she also told me that she would love to see me stay. I obviously ended up staying because like this trip went on. It then goes on to hop to, we just tried herding sheep, and let me tell you, that shit is not easy. Now it's lunchtime and I'm pretty hyped. Today was not nearly as bad. I made an executive decision to stay here, seeing I only have 6 days left. It is starting to finally become fun, TBH. Right now we are starting to get ready for bed, chilling in the yurt, and they do not have my NyQuil. I like them because they really help me sleep. I have always been like an insomnia ass bitch. Even to this day, I don't sleep till late, but I've always had sleeping troubles. Being without a phone like in the middle of a fucking yurt, like that shit was hard. I was chilling under the stars tonight, and it really reminded me of my friends. Miss everyone. Write to you tomorrow journal. The way that this is like literally still to this day how my inner monologue kind of goes. I just talk out of my ass, and that's something I very much so hold to myself, because like I think we should all talk out of our ass respectfully. Speak your inner monologue, because like why the fuck not? It's just so much better that way. Blackbird day 5. This day I only wrote 1 page. So it's after dinner and I haven't written in this all day. It goes to show that today has actually been eventful. I've done so much community service. I actually did do all my community service when I was there. It has been so tiring, and I have definitely been snipping plants and cleaning all day. I can't wait to go home. I'm literally going to buy a gang of drugs. We're open, honest, and transparent here. 17-year-old Thomas was a depressed crackhead ass bitch. Anyways, I'll write you tomorrow. Good night. Now we are halfway through the trip. I wasn't having it. They tried making me take temperatures of compost, holding chickens. I did make my own homemade jam. I beefed with the leaders. I got to talk to my grandma. I got to do community service. So by day 5, things were looking pretty productive. Blackbird day 6. Literally like 6 a.m. I think I have a pimple, which is for sure brand new. I'm also pretty sure that today we are doing a high ropes course in the freaking redwoods. I'm literally so hyped for that. It is so surreal and so fun to be that high up in the trees. I wonder how everyone is doing back home, and if anything has gone like completely chaotic. My tolerance is honestly gonna be so lit once I get back. I am excited to see how faded I seriously get. Time goes by unbelievably fast here, faster than you would ever realize. I started getting more poetic. I was talking to this one girl, Michelle, yesterday about this guy. He is going to be contacted immediately as I get home. He was hitting me up so much before I left home. It amazes me how personally I can stay so interested in someone who literally has a boyfriend. This is when I was in a love triangle. No, not me being a homewrecker. It's the way that I ended up dating his ex. Anyways, if he has a boyfriend, I don't know why he flirts with me. I wonder how his boyfriend has not said anything to me. Anyways, I'm leaving to the ropes course. Wish me luck. Someone also spilled water on my contour. Not me having my contour on this trip to the farm. Why did I literally bring my makeup to the fucking organic farm? After the high ropes course, the high ropes course was really long, but it was really fun. We got to sit at this place called Blue Hill right after, and it was absolutely beautiful. The way that I still remember that hill. We then went on to sit down and have some great dinner. We are going on a field trip tomorrow to somewhere pretty. Overall, today has yet again been absolutely awesome. Giving everyone the rundown of I've been trying to further my career, and it has really made me realize I have actual worth. Maybe I need to go back to Blackbird Farm if it made me realize that. Now we are moving on to day 7. So today is day 7 of being here. We're at breakfast right now. I had to chew a 1/4 of a Klonopin last night to go to sleep, and it absolutely sucked. I might be messy now, but at least I ain't doing that shit no more. That's all that matters. We are going on a field trip today, and I have no idea where I'm going. Every day is closer and closer to going home. I just finished breakfast. There's a leader here named Josh. He's really rad and probably my favorite guy here. We are talking about music, and he is really into the same stuff we are. Like, why was I in love with my counselors? Why was I so boy crazy? Why am I still? But I'm not. My standards are hella high now. Don't accept anything bare minimum. Moving on. We just got back from our little field trip. We went went to a preserve safari. I saw zebra, giraffe, and antelope, and it was pretty boring, yet a little rad. We had lunch at this viewpoint off Pacific Coast Highway. It was absolutely gorgeous in all honesty. I had to be in the car longer than actually being in the place. During the car ride, I started to tear up. I started to think about how much I miss my friends. I seriously wonder how they're doing. On another note, someone else who came to my mind today was blank, which was a tad random. I think of all genuine cute moments that he has put me through. First time I met him, I can never forget how we got faded on the beach and how he picked a flower and gave it to me. Stay off Grindr if you're not 18, because like you don't want to be in that Blackbird farm thinking about that. Anyways, I literally wrote that. We are having our free time right now. I hope they give me a melatonin tonight so I won't have to chew more of my Xanax to go to bed. My personality trait this trip was like for sure just like I want a cigarette. I'm in a good mood. I'm in a bad mood. I'm chewing Klonopin. Now we're on Blackbird Farm day 8, so we're getting close to the trip's end. Looks like, oh yeah, this one was actually a pretty cute day, I think. I just got back from doing morning chores. They made us do some dumb BS before eating to line up by our last names in some weird order. I'm going to make myself a cup of green tea to start my day. Last night there was coyotes by our yurt. Our generator went out last night, which wasn't that rad. Getting closer and closer to going home. Closer and closer to smoking a fat blunt. Period. So today has been boring as fuck. I am so ready to go home. We literally toured the garden, then made some fucking bread. Tina's in place of the main RA, who was the like main chaperone leader in the camp, Megan, and Tina is not as happy and fun-filled as Megan. It is not too far away that I will be in an airport traveling back home. Tomorrow is election day. Oh my god. This was literally during the 2016 election. It is basically down to Hillary and Donald right now, which is so sad. Between the scandals of Hillary and the incompetence of Donald, me having political opinions at age 17, even though I could not vote, but I was close to being able to vote. I think that's why I was so opinionated. The end of high school is really coming to an end for me. I'm really hoping that the semester off is going to make me do good. I'm really looking forward to FITM. I'm not really that nervous to go visit there. I feel that it will be really beneficial for me to go and see the campus. Part of me is thinking instead of taking a whole semester to take a quarter off. This is some relevant info to like my life. Now, when I had finished high school, I said that I was going to take a semester off. This was before I was super dedicated to my YouTube channel and wanted to make YouTube my career. Oh my god, it is right now. Life is crazy. I wanted to go to FITM. If you don't know what that is the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising out here in LA. I believe they have different campuses in different cities. That was where I wanted to go to college. I'm never going to college. That might bite me in the ass one day, but hopefully not. Please hit that subscribe button. I ended up wanting to go to school for fashion and then I never did. Look where we are now. We're 21 years old. We started our own fucking fashion brand. Have been now doing this for like almost 5 months now. My Depop shop like just hit selling over 50 items. 17-year-old Thomas wanted to be a fashion designer. And now you guys are letting me live out that dream. And for that, I literally count my blessings fucking daily. Just gonna have a moment to be grateful. Literally, thank you guys so much. I love you guys. It is sunset. I am sitting on top of Blue Hill. The scenery is beautiful. In front of me sits a still lake. I just wrote a poem and I'm gonna read the poem, but I also drew a little diagram what it kind of looked like. So I was sitting at the top. This was Blue Hill. There were some trees right here and then a lake at the bottom. I miss being in nature. Now I'm gonna read you guys the poem that I wrote on day 8 about Blue Hill. I hear the crickets, the birds chirping around my ears, the lake in my foreground, so still and at peace. I saw deer, I saw some horses. I'm on this hill, so blissful, so true. My feet planted in the ground. I feel so at earth. I sit at solo, this is Earth, a break from my usual, around engines and horns, my setting gets darker and darker. The darker it gets, the more the day fades, on top of Blue Hill, goodbye to yet one other day. I used to write so much poetry when I was like younger. When I was doing homeschool, I do remember I did take a writing class. A writing class did me good. Days 9 to 10 got hella juicy, so like, let's talk about that. Good morning. Today is November 8th, 2016, also election day. On my life, I am praying Donald Trump does not win this election. I feel so out of touch. I'm so excited because today we are getting really close to the end of this trip. I've made some really good friends during this trip. We are even planning some really fun days where we go to LA. I really need to start saving money and becoming financially stable again. Still relevant. I don't know what this farm is really making me feel like. I'm seriously so bored here, but time really flies by. I have to do dishes today, which actually sucks. After this, I have to do some dumbass construction, which I do not do. I just asked the main RA about her hickeys. Gotta go to do dishes. There's also like this red paper that says, and this is 11/8/16. I know one day I will be good enough and that I will do it 10 times better than I thought I ever will. I will be confident. That's on writing shit down and following through with it. Continuing on. The construction project was low-key stupid, but I also got 2 community service hours for making 4 marks with a marker and drilling in 2 screws. Now I am sitting at a table listening to some dumb fuck who is probably an intern. Damn. I also feel like dinner is going to be good tonight. They're talking about fast food. I honestly feel so tortured. When I get home, I feel like I'm totally going to pig out. The day is coming to an end. I took my nightly sleeping pill. I sit around. Trump is leading the way in the election. Tomorrow is the last full day here. Let's see how that goes. XO, good night. Didn't write too much on day 9, but day 10, it looks like it got pretty damn dramatic. Well, today is finally the last day. I'm so excited to go home. I woke up to the fact that Donald Trump is going to become president. What bullshit. Tomorrow, Jill will be driving us to the airport. I straight up feel so indie at airports. That is pretty rad. I really do though. I can't believe that I'm still feeling as sick as I do. I just had such a bomb breakfast. It was a breakfast sandwich. I just filled my tea. It's super foggy outside. Being away from my phone this long was one of the biggest challenges that I faced this entire trip. Okay, so Danny, the leader I don't like, just got so butthurt that I dropped the F-bomb that they put me on timeout. Bro, they really put my 17-year-old ass on timeout there because I said the F word. He pulled me aside with Megan, who I like, and tried to get me to apologize, and all I told him was, sorry you're butthurt. This situation, they had us divided up into groups there. So we would sit at our table with our groups. This day, our group was the last one to go up and get breakfast. There was like some kind of meat there. By the time I went up to go get food, and I was like literally the last person, there was no other meat. So then I asked them, oh hey, like can I get like some more? They said, oh no, there's no more, and they wouldn't let me eat. Oh, so you aren't gonna let me eat fucking breakfast? Literally all the leaders were shook. Danny was the one who told me they couldn't replace it, so I had verbally used the F slur, not anything homophobic, but like the word fuck. He got very, very butthurt about it. But yeah, as I sit here in my timeout, I find it such comedy. Me on timeout, just like writing in my journal. I also drew this thing where it says mood, and then I drew this face. As I sit here and longer, I think of how stupid this place is. Wow, it really didn't take much to sway my opinion on Blackbird Farm. It is sad that a place like this, which I once hated, then started to enjoy, is going to take me back to hating again. I will try to stay sane. Wish me luck. XOXO. The farm is finally coming to an end. I just finished filling out a survey. It is real. I cannot wait to go home. Here we go. Blackbird Farm day 11 and the conclusion of this trip. It is the day. I had a hard time sleeping last night. This morning we went on a little hike and it was actually pretty awesome. Leaving this place has me a little emotional. Places taught me a lot about myself and staying positive. The trait of grit and self-worth is something I've had but definitely have expanded on. Thank you, Blackbird. I'm out. XO Thomas. Oh my god. Oh. I have another little excerpt that I guess I wrote on the 10th. I believe I must have wrote this while I was like on the airplane on my way home. I really want to make a change to my diet. I want to do that because I want to model. To do that, I must exercise, fix my uneven eyelid. That never happened. Eat healthy, drink lots of water. Good reminder. I want to be as good looking as I can. I'm coming home from Blackbird with such a positive attitude and mindset. Let's keep this and keep going. You're going to start going to college in 1 year. Start your dream. You can do it, Thomas. You can. Wow. Pretty much all that I had written in my book about Blackbird Farm. You know what? Recollecting myself and like really thinking about that, I hated it, but I also loved it because I feel like it did teach me a lot about myself. However the fuck it did that. The trip really did teach me about grit and self-worth. The definition of grit, strength of character. AKA how I kind of look at it. Grit is how much you are kind of going to apply yourself to get to where you want to be in life. No matter like what kind of going on in the moment. How do I even fucking describe this? The will that you have. One thing it's always good to hold on to is the will to chase after your dreams. Yeah, I sat there and I said I wanted to go to fashion college. I wanted to model. I wanted to do all that. I didn't do any of that. I mean, I did model, but I didn't go to fashion college. I chose a different path. The path that I chose was you guys. It was YouTube. After turning 18 and really getting into YouTube, and I have held a lot of grit through this channel. Honestly, I just fished a whole bunch out of the archives. That was just a little brief rundown. The trip was fun and all. It was what it was. But that's kind of an insight on my inner monologue going through that trip. I promised this story time like quite some time ago. If you guys were ever wondering how my thoughts were looking when I was on a trip at a farm, I know that was all over the place. I hope you guys enjoyed that little story time. And if you did, again, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Also, make sure you hit the red subscribe button down below. If you guys want to be notified whenever I post, which like, let me tell you, I'm gonna be posting Princess this month. Make sure you hit that bell notification icon so you can be notified whenever I post a video. If you guys are not already, make sure you follow me over on Instagram at LBtwink, over on TikTok at LBtwink, and also follow my Twitter. I've been tweeting a lot lately. I've just been tweeting. When this video goes live, I will be putting my OnlyFans on 50% off, so that will be linked down below, along with like all my other stuff. You'll literally find everything in the description. Always check the description. I also, and I haven't really ever like mentioned this on my channel, even though I've had it around for a while, but I think this would be another cool video I could do. I do have a PO box. If you guys want to go ahead and like send me stuff so I could do like a PO unboxing video, feel free to do that. I literally have not announced it, but yes, I do have a PO box. And to those who have sent me over anything, thank you so much for that. And it's always so like fun, and like sometimes your notes literally make me cry. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that little story time. Honestly, there's not much else I want to fish out of my memories right now. I will see you guys in the next video. XOXO LBtwink. XOXO LBtwink.